Hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? It is currently day 9 of my tea break, or my journey of not smoking weed for at least 30 days. If you're new here, I would like to welcome you, and if you are a returning viewer, I would like to thank you once again for being here. If you're participating or thinking about participating, I welcome you to use the comment section as a little journal or a check-in to let the world know how you're doing. So that way, anybody else who's on the fence about doing this, maybe they're a little apprehensive, or because it is kind of a big decision sometimes, especially when you are a habitual smoker. And you absolutely need to smoke weed to get through the day. Or maybe you don't know. And, that's really part of what this is all about, is sometimes you just have to take a step back and, analyze how much of a hold certain things have on your life. And do you have the power, or does something else have the power? So, Day 9. Day 9 has been pretty chill again. I have to admit that, the last 2 days, well, yesterday and today, I've been feeling extremely productive, and that's mostly because I've just made up my mind to finish up certain things that they've been loose. Too many loose ends have been loose for way too long, and it's just time to tie them up and get them done. So that's been my little pet project over the last day and a half, and judging how well compared. Sorry, just excuse me for a second. Depending on how things are going today, I will be potentially wrapping up a project that has taken me a really long time, and it's been a lot of back and forth mental gymnastics on whether I want to do this or whether I don't want to do this. Is it good enough? Is it not good enough? And it feels really good to just bite the bullet and be like, it is good enough. Let's move on. Get it done and move on. So that's where I've been the last day and a half, especially. So, as far as smoking weed goes, yes, I would love to get my little pipe out and take a hit or two, especially because tonight is the presidential debate, and I have a feeling that would make it a little bit more entertaining. I don't want to get political here at all. I don't want to invite that conversation. But if you are at least somewhat aware of what's going on in U.S. politics right now, you have to at least agree with me that this debate is going to be at least somewhat entertaining. So, either way, I know that not smoking weed will be, fine. Just like everything else that I normally would smoke weed for, and like watching a movie or playing a video game or whatever, it's just as enjoyable. It just doesn't feel like I got hit in the face with a shovel, 2 hours ago without the pain, obviously. So, that's my day 9. That's day 9. It's been going a lot smoother than I had anticipated, but it's only because I've made up my mind to finish something, finish some things, and give myself something exciting to look forward to. So if you're in the midst of this and maybe having a difficult time, that's maybe my suggestion, is to pour yourself into something else. You know, you can sit around and wallow all you want, and I'm sure that, you know, there's still 21 days until I hit the 30-day mark. There's probably going to be some days where I wallow around, you know, and that's just the nature of the game. But, you know, find something to keep yourself occupied, and before you know it, the day will be over, and just start again, right? And we'll do it all over again. So, yeah, and I want to touch on a little point that I kind of raised at the beginning of this video. I didn't intend to touch on this, but, you know, this tea break has really helped me take a step back and look at things from a different perspective. And that's what I really appreciate about weed sometimes, is that, excuse me, that sometimes it's just nice to be able to smoke and then, you know, remove yourself from a situation and look at it from a different perspective. Because sometimes we just get too, you know, things are too close, and you can't see the forest for the trees, right? Or you can't see the trees for the forest. And it's nice to be able to, you know, perch up and look at things from a different angle. But when weed becomes this, taking a tea break is literally the only thing you can do to be able to just take a step back and look at that. And I think it's just a necessary thing to do sometimes. I'm not saying that weed is bad. And I'm not going to say that it's always beneficial, because, you know, there are certain ways to use everything that is unhealthy, or, you know, maybe shouldn't be used in that way. And for me, when I was younger, I would be more of an escapist. And that, over the last few years, I've tamped that down a little bit. I'm more comfortable sitting with the uncomfortability of life. And I think that's necessary, right? Like, if you bash your elbow and you get a cut, well, you know, it's going to hurt, but like, that pain is a necessary way of informing you that, you know, you're hurt, you're healing. Whereas if you keep numbing that feeling, do you really ever heal? I mean, that's the question. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if I really want to get into this right now, but weed, when I was younger, weed was a Band-Aid for me. It was a way for me to just check out of life for a minute, and in my case, hours at a time. You know, opiates never did anything for me, thank God. But you know, I don't know if I would say I was really any different than a heroin junkie on some levels, because, you know, I had to smoke weed all the time. And you know, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I just want to invite you, you know, if you're a sun up to sundown smoker or whatever, you know, and you're smoking every hour of the day, I just invite you to pay attention. Just take a moment to pay attention. Answer this question. What are you smoking for? Why are you smoking? Does it benefit your life in any way? And if it does, in what ways does it benefit? And if it doesn't, what about it does it not benefit? In what ways is it not beneficial? Those are questions only you can answer for yourself. But you have to be brave enough to go prodding around and dig a little bit to find those answers. For me anymore, smoking weed is primarily a creative tool. Sure, sometimes I do use it as a little band-aid to escape if I'm feeling super depressed. But my last tea break has kind of taught me to not use it in that way so much, because when I do take a tea break, all of those symptoms and everything that I used to, throw a blanket over top of, all those things underneath the blanket come out, and they come out and play, and they come out hard sometimes. And you're going to have to deal with it, So I've just kind of learned myself to just deal with it now, because if I don't, then it's just going to grow and become maybe not unmanageable, but it's like almost unreasonable to deal with certain things beyond the point of expiration, right? Like certain things are reasonable, but beyond a certain point in time, it almost becomes unreasonable to feel a certain way about certain things. And I'm not saying that anybody's feelings are invalid. Everybody is valid, okay? Everybody's feelings are valid. But there's only so long you can put things off before it really becomes detrimental. And eventually you have to deal with it. And wow, I've really rambled on longer than I needed to here, and I don't know. That's pretty much where I'm kind of coming from right now, and this tea break has really helped me to solidify those thoughts. Because, like I said, the last tea break I took 5 months ago was rough. It was rough. Like, it was go and see a therapist rough. So, and unfortunately, I can't afford certain things, and a therapist is one of those. So it's like I had to learn how to deal with things that I kept hiding underneath the blanket, underneath the band-aid of smoking weed. But aside from, a creative tool that I use weed for, primarily for like playing music and whatnot, it's kind of a social thing. Kind of no different than, drinking a beer with some friends, but I don't really drink, and like the last time I had a beer was 6 months ago, and I can't say that. It was sooner than that. It was in May, so yeah, it was what? 4 months ago? 4 months ago. It's very, very situational. I only drink on special occasions. And I more or less like to be doing activities when I'm doing stuff. So when I'm with friends and we blaze a doob down or whatever, we're generally playing music. That's what we do. It's like a communal thing. We imbibe and we take part and we pass it around, and we are part of this thing together, and we're on this level, and, that's just what we do. And, outside of that, it's just more or less a way to relax and explore some thoughts. At night, usually. Unless I know I'm going to have a really long day. sometimes I will smoke earlier in the day, but it's usually when I know that I'm going to be doing something that I can get in my little zone for, and I'm, not an expert at, but it's something that I'm overly confident about in my abilities, to where I know that I can achieve a certain thing without having to worry about this, that, and the other thing. I can just get right down to it, and, boom. And I will say that that zone, at least I can't say musically, because I haven't jammed or even played my guitar, to be honest with you, since my Day Zero video. But in terms of other things, that zone still exists. It just, and the mechanism is still the same, right? It's a flow state. You just get into it. And I will say, though, that without weed, there's less thinking involved when it comes down to it, and I don't second guess myself as much as I maybe used to. So, alright, I'm going on way too long now, and that's my experience right now, and tomorrow maybe might be different, but yeah. So once again, I will invite you to use my comment section as a little check-in point. Let me know how you're doing. Let the world know how you're doing. I don't. This is a way to hold myself accountable, but I invite you to participate. Let's be a group, and it doesn't matter if you see this, the moment I upload it, or 4 years from now. Like it's an open forum here. So whenever you come to this is, it's your time. So when it's your time, make use of it, okay? So, alright. Well, I'll catch you all tomorrow. I hope you're doing well. I want to thank everybody for being here. And also, I have been inviting people to ask me a question for a Q&A session to be hosted on my Day 14 video. Excuse me. I meant to say this at the beginning of my video, because I'm not sure how many people would actually watch me ramble on this long, but if you made it this far, I want to invite you to ask me a question for the Q&A session. Just please denote that you would prefer it to be part of that little session, and I'll add it to the list of things. And I don't care if you've already asked me 2 or 3 questions. If you have another question, go for it. By all means. But I will be hosting that on the Day 14 video, where I will also be doing another urine test, or a couple probably. And I will also do the accountability thing, where I put the jar on the scale and show you that I'm still at 196 grams. So, alright, well, catch you all tomorrow. I hope you and your family are doing well, and just please hang in there and stay strong. You're doing this for you, and I'm proud of you. So, thank you. Peace.